Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of the University of WordPress podcast. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about some questions that you need to ask yourself before you start a blog. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. The first question is, what is your purpose? And what I mean by that is, what are you actually blogging about? What you're blogging about can lead to money, or it can be a great way to just express something that you're passionate about. And there's a true distinction between these two. It's pretty hard to make stuff that you're passionate about and make money on it. It's possible. It definitely is possible, but it's a hard thing to do. So I really think that you need to draw the line and figure out what you're blogging for. So the next question is, what do you want to blog about? So this is basically a question about what is your niche. And what a niche is it's a specific item or topic or idea that you're blogging about. Now, there are these things called micro niches, and in those, they're really small, but they're stuff that people need to know about. So these can drive great traffic, even though it's such a small product or service or idea. Another way to do it is to look at these huge ideas, and more people are going to be searching for them. So if you can rank somewhere in Google for that, or you can get it shared on social media, you can do huge numbers with those type of niches, with widespread niches. So the next question is, where do you see yourselves a year down the line? Because blogging definitely takes time. It's very hard to do in a few months. So I would say that you need to at least be committed for at least 6 months. And why I say that is that sometimes it takes a long time for Google to index your site, and this is called the sandbox, which we will get more into later. But basically, you just need to make sure that you are actually in this, that you can do it, keep yourself focused, and keep pushing yourself to stay in it. So the next one is, I need to ask you, do you understand that there is no such thing as a get-rich-quick strategy in blogging? Because you see all these affiliate gurus on YouTube ads, and it's taken them years and years to build up what they're trying to sell you. One I just saw was this guy named Kiona Kayla or something like that, and he's trying to sell you this online course on how affiliate marketing, you can make 7 figures is what he says in a matter of a short amount of time, and that's just not realistic. If you come in expecting that, you're never gonna hit it, because you're gonna burn out really quick. The next thing is going to be with hosting and site building. Where do you want to do both of those things? I do have an affiliation with Bluehost, so I will recommend them. They are a great product for beginners. They have a really easy, control panel. They make it really easy for you to do everything that you need to do to build your blog. Along with Bluehost, they have really easy setup with WordPress, and that's by far the most used site builder out there. So that's the combo I would personally go with. If you are more advanced and you think you're going to have huge amounts of traffic really fast, Bluehost might be one that you want to avoid, because their their hosting is a little bit lower of a level than some. So maybe just research what is going to be good for you if you expect to get more than 15,000 visitors a month. So after that, I am going to ask you, how will you promote this site? Are you going to focus solely on SEO for Google, search engine optimization, so that you rank high? Are you going to use Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube? How are you going to promote your blog? Because this is one of the most important things you can do. It takes a lot of time to get traffic, and promoting it is such an important thing you can do. Next thing I'll ask you is what are your long-term goals? And something I like to look at when setting goals is the term SMART goals. You've probably heard about this, in high school. Um, SMART goals stand for specific, measurable, actionable, relevant, and time-bound goals. I think it's important to focus on your goals and make sure that they're, realistic, that you have a timely sense of things, that you've planned it out like that, and that you actually can do it. That's the measurable side on there. Because if you set your goal, at, oh, I'm going to get 100,000 visitors in my first 10 months, that's probably not going to happen. I mean, if you do get that, well, good on you, but I just really don't expect you to do so if you're just starting out. I don't even do that. Wouldn't expect to do that coming in. So the next thing I want to ask you goes back to kind of hosting, and it's based on your plan and if you want to start multiple blogs. So one blog is going to be quite a bit cheaper to host than multiple. Once you start getting into multiple, you're going to have to probably bump your plan up. I know on Bluehost it's called Plus, and I don't know what it is on other sites, but I'm sure they have something like that where the beginner level is just for one site, and the next level after that is going to be for as many sites as you want, more than likely. And that's the one I use. I don't use premium on Bluehost. I stick to Plus because I like having, a little bit of a discount, but still having multiple blogs available to me. And the great thing with Bluehost is that within 30 days, if you contact them, let them know that you don't like the current plan you have, you can have someone from the Bluehost company go back into your account and either upgrade or downgrade you. So if you had a plus and now you want a beginner, you can go down from plus to the beginner level. And if you have just an entry level beginner one, you can go up, which is actually what I did once I started gaining traffic on my other blog. So the next question after that is how do you want to monetize your blog? So monetizing is basically how are you going to make sure your blog makes money? And there are multiple ways to do this. I'll get into that later, but I want you to just think today, are you going to use, Google AdSense, which is just putting ads on your site that people will click on, and in turn you get a certain amount of money per click? Or are you going to be someone who is an affiliate marketer and post products from Amazon or ClickBank or another one of those types of websites, and in turn for selling that product to some of your readers, as long as they click on your affiliate link, you will earn some commission on their purchases in there. So that's what I have with Bluehost, for example. So I would really appreciate if you'd use Bluehost through my account if you're just starting out and you think Bluehost is a good idea. It would really benefit me and I'd appreciate that very much. So the next and last question that I have for you today, I know we're already coming to an end, but this is probably the most important question anybody that's going to start a blog can ask themselves. And it's how committed are you? And I know that sounds kind of harsh to say, well, I'm not very committed, because you want to be 100% committed to your blog, but sometimes you just need to face the facts that that's just not possible. And if you can only commit a couple hours a week, I would say that you should just stick to it as a hobby and kind of make it just, your own personal blog, something that you're really passionate about, that you have fun writing about in those few hours. But, if you have more time to just commit to your blog, I would say that you could eventually work your way up to it being your full-time job. And, that's a huge commitment, obviously, because, some months you're going to have a down month, and then all of a sudden you won't have hardly any income, but eventually you can make a substantial amount from it. So I hope these questions kind of opened your eyes to what you should know before you start blogging. I'm going to give you your homework, as we are the University of WordPress, and your homework is to go back, listen for each of these questions, write them down on a piece of paper, and then answer them for yourself. And I think this will be a great exercise for you to just kind of map out everything that you expect from your blog, everything that you want to do, you want to accomplish with it. And I think this would be a great exercise for you. So, this was everything that I wanted to discuss today. These topics are obviously very broad topics, so I'm sorry if any of them confused you. Don't expect them to, but if they did, I apologize. I may have not, covered it completely. So if you have any questions, be sure to let me know on my website. And I would really appreciate, a rating on iTunes or Stitcher or wherever you're listening to this podcast. Go ahead and comment if you enjoyed it. I'd appreciate if you'd subscribe if you want to see more. And yeah, that's everything I have for you. So, until next time, class is dismissed.